Hey, JG.
Mr. Don Campbell, how you doing, my friend?
Great to be inside. You know, it's starting to feel like Canada out here in Vancouver area. It's snowing again. Like, oh my
Yeah,
goodness! Like, we're almost officially Canadian now, so I can feel that starting to happen.
it's almost like you don't live in a rainforest over there.
That's exactly right. Except that it's plus 20 on Saturday coming up. So who
Wow.
knows,
I,
man?
I don't think you're going to get much sympathy, Don, from
Zero.
all of us who live anywhere other than where you're at.
It's zero. I know, and unfortunately, and so I'm not complaining. I'm just observing.
Yeah, gotcha. Hey, so first of all, Don, again, I want to thank you for doing this. We have an all new ACRE event coming up, and what all new means we're going to talk about today. But I want to thank you for making the time. We've been trying to line this up, and we kind of squeezed it in, didn't we? And there's
We kind of had to because I was a bit belligerent, and I apologize for that. I know you wanted me on next week, and we could talk about some of the stuff that's going on, but frankly, I was a little bit of a jerk and pushed my way on for this week because, frankly, JG, I'm just getting a little bit concerned. And remember, this is my 26th year of doing this and analyzing and watching and listening and forcing myself to listen to some insanity that goes on out there would be a nice place to put it. And I need to come on and talk to investors across the country and RAIN members, et cetera. And there's something that's going on out there right now that I've seen happen 2 or 3 times previously since 1989. And it is that scary stuff is some of the things that are being taught out there right now by some quite interesting characters. Of course, it's spun. They're excellent at marketing, but what's happening is, unfortunately, is people's getting set up for a little bit of pain. And my whole reason for starting RAIN was to kind of put a kibosh on that back in the 80s. And because it was getting really bad then, and now here we are, and I'm starting to sniff that around again. So that's why I pushed myself on. I apologize for being belligerent. I apologize for doing this, but it's kind of important.
I totally agree, Don, and you know, this is. I guess we could talk a little bit about why that's happening, but I think that the more important thing is really to focus on. This is why we're releasing an all new ACRE. This is why we've revamped it, we've revitalized it, and we're revolutionizing it because we're stepping our game up again. And you know what? I got to admit, you know what I was thinking about, Don, the other day, and you're the perfect guy to say this to. I was watching.
Uh-oh.
You know, I'm a big Porsche fan, right? So
Yes.
I'm a huge Porsche fan, and I was watching a video about the Porsche 911, right, which is the most timeless sports car in the history of history. It's been 52 years now. They've been redesigning and tweaking the same car for 52 years. And I thought to myself, as I'm watching this amazing video and being a Porsche nut myself, I thought, shoot, that's what RAIN's been doing. That's what Don Campbell's been doing for 26 years. We haven't been doing it for as long as Porsche, only half as long, but I mean, still pretty cool, right?
That's pretty good. I like that, is because you often see the American cars to go through a giant big change. It's almost like that North American mentality. What have you done for me lately? Take it, throw it out, and put big fins on it. And then throw it out and take big fins off and change it into high chrome. But you're so right on those classics, the ones that people want now that were built before, kind of isn't the Voyager van. It's kind of like like you said, the Porsche that looks incredibly similar, but underneath in the engine and in the electronics and in the suspension, that's where it's been changed and upgraded. And that's why I love this ACRE. What do you call it? ACRE Triple R. It sounds like a movie, doesn't it? Revamped, revitalized, revolutionized, but still the same kind of body shape that's on it. And that's because the body shape works. Same thing with ACRE is that you tweak it, you improve the engines. That's a great analogy, JG.
But I think for me, there's an incredible amount of power, foundation, stability in that. For others, there's danger in it. I see danger for others, Don, because I feel that others think, it's ACRE. I was there. I was there last year. Why do I got to go again this year? I mean, this year of all years, you're going to regret saying that if that's the position you're taking. But boy, there's danger in thinking, I've been there, I've done that. There's danger in that, Don, and there's nobody better knows that than you.
Well, I've already driven a 911. Why would I want to drive another one? You know, that whole thing. It is completely different. And it's funny where people say, well, you know, I'm bored with that, or I've already done that. I've already did that. But they'll eat the same cereal. They'll go to the restaurant to the same restaurant and order the same thing. They'll drive to work the same way. But oh my goodness, whatever you do, don't teach me something that works again, that I might have forgotten some of the things. And I do chuckle. And Connie and I were actually talking about this last night when we were sitting around and we were just chatting about the world and see what we're seeing. And that's what we're seeing is people get so thrown into this new thing and it's so exciting. And then it's like a sugar high, and then that kind of slowly goes away. And then the reality starts to show up, and I see it over and over and over again. And that's one of the reasons why the politicians do what they do right now. Now, I'm not going to get into politics today because that rant may just show up at ACRE or 2 or 3, but they know that people will forget stuff. They know that if it ain't shiny and new, we've already talked about S&C. People will forget about that. Let's move on to something else. We've already talked about Oshawa plant. You know, everybody's forgetting about that. Let's move on to something else. And that's today's society. And that's leading us down a really crappy path. I don't know if you've noticed that, but there's a lot more anger in the world and a lot more of all that stuff. If we get back to our foundations and get back to the reality of investing, why we're investing, how to invest in Canada, not some US thing, what the new financing rules are. Yeah, they changed again this week. Goodness gracious. And all of these different pieces. But I know this because I went to ACRE in 1997. So why would I go now? You know, it's just the mentality is so different.
Yeah.
Let's not get caught up in that siloed thinking. And that's why we have these roundtables, right? We talk about having the roundtables and talking to members and doing these online calls and et cetera, is because people know that it's the little tweaks that matter. It's the little tweaks that make your 911 go that extra half a second off the line a little quicker, right? And it's the right tires. Oh, gee, look at our tires. They're getting a little warm. We better revamp, revitalize, and revolutionize those tires. And that's why I pushed myself on today. It is too darn important. I'm flying in. I'm hanging out. I'm going to be pushing some stuff on Friday night. I'm going to be. People like what's behind the curtain. It's kind of interesting. This one here is going to be one of the most important ones that I've delivered in a long time. And I'm not going to hint on it. I'm not going to tease. I'm not going to do all that stuff. I just say, I suggest being in the room at 7:00.
Nice.
On that Friday night. Just saying. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the agenda, Don, because that's one of the segments that we've revamped. We've revamped the agenda. It's not going to be a traditional sort of ACRE agenda. Tell us a little bit about that, what that means from your perspective.
Well, the 9/11. I'm going to steal your analogy now, man. It's so good. The 9/11 body is still going to be there. It'll be polished a little bit. It'll have more high tech built into it, which is kind of funny because that's what we're talking about, revolutionary high tech and prop tech. But and we're going to, and then when you walk in, it might feel kind of similar, but in about an hour, you're going to know this thing ain't the same. This thing, if I'm not careful, I'll be getting a lot more tickets driving this new ACRE. And that's what's going to be really important. What's different? Well, look, I made a couple of things. I get to kick off Friday night, which therefore will make everybody else later because you'll be my sticking on time when the rant shows up. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there are a few things that I might wish to bring to your attention currently in Canada, and interest rates, economy, jobs, etc. And then of course, there's no way we're going to cut the where and where and when, or when and where to invest segments. That Saturday morning thing is so important, and that's where we're revitalizing the statistics, and we're making it even easier for you, the investor, to kind of read your own area, whether it's Kingston or Peterborough. I don't know. I hear the Peterborough is pretty good. I don't know if anybody lives there right now. Oh yeah, that's right. That's you, JT.
Actually, I'm really hoping Peterborough just stays off. Just keep Peterborough where it is, because I got my little area here. I'm loving it. So
no, sorry. If the stats say it, I got to tell it. The Hamiltons and the Windsors, and there's people out there right now actually going to do an analysis under their own brand and their own name of cities and towns, because darn it, there's Brain's got a good idea. I think I'll steal that. And then, you see all these things happening, and it's just like, really make up your own ideas and use them. Anyway, so we've updated the cycle. We're going to talk about where it is in the cycle. A number of things have kind of shifted, and as we revamp this ACRE agenda, we look at the influencers and the politics and which should not really count in the world of real estate, but it's really starting to count and really starting to adjust different cities across Ontario, but across Canada as well. And it's unfortunate. It's a winners and losers kind of picking a winners and losers kind of thing. But we do have to adjust, because cycle things are adjusting, but the influencers are adjusting. So that's why we've revamped a number of the segments to make sure, okay, now are you really paying attention to this? Are you stuck in your siloed thinking? Are you doing the same thing you did in 2007? Because that ain't going to work. That kind of stuff. Somebody I saw the other day was teaching almost my exact PowerPoint. I'm not kidding, from 2011. And I looked up, I went, because, frankly, people think, oh, Don will never know. Well, Don will never find out. I think I've taught enough tens of thousands of clients who appreciate what we've done that they kind of just hold up their phone and record it and send it to me and going, do you know this is happening? And it's got to be embarrassing for the other people. Anyway, but make up your own stuff. Anyway, but that tiny bit of a rant. Sorry about that. You're not doing it in secret, by the way. If you're watching this, you're not doing it in secret. The reality is teaching stuff from 2011. There's some stuff that's obviously works from 2011, but the stuff they were teaching was so offside and so not even close to what's real in 2019 that there's a bunch of people in there just taking their notes. I get to see the whole video, by the way, taking the notes and doing this. I'm going, no, I'm yelling. Connie's going, what are you yelling at? I said, I'm yelling at my screen because look at this. This is going to get people in trouble.
Yep.
Hence the reason we've revamped, we've revitalized, we've revolutionized as we go into PropTech and the app. And I understand that in Calgary we launched, unfortunately I couldn't be there, but in Calgary we launched the event app. So if you attend
yes,
the app and you get all kinds of really crazy stuff.
Don, the feedback was off the charts about the app. We designed the new app. Nick Banks and his team led that. It was absolutely brilliant, and the attendees loved it. We're going to have it back in Toronto, so we're going to launch that app. So as people get registered, they'll get the notifications. It was.
You only get it if you're registered, right?
100%. You can't. Yeah, of course, absolutely, 100%. Don. The other thing too is, you know me, I'm a pretty optimistic guy on all things, but the numbers and the feedback and the statistics of what the app generated was people loved it. We had over just under 30,000 app views and connections. Think about that.
Wow. That's awesome. And that's just one Saturday, kind of a weekend thing where everyone was hanging out. And what I like about it is, we're going to tie that into the AI that's coming and the exclusive. I don't want to get into it all. It's with ACRE, I've done a lot of them. 75,000. No, I'm making that up. I'm sure someone would make that number up. But it was what was the number? It was Edmonton was 99, wasn't it?
Yeah, 99. This
So
may
it was
be
just oddly that Gretzky in 99. Yeah, so 100 was BC. So this is going to be my 101st. And I'm not making this up because you guys don't know I don't need to BS. I'm more excited for this one than I have been in at least 3 years. And because of the changes, because of the updates, because of some stuff that both JG and Jennifer have told me very clearly not to say here. And as soon as you say that to a guy like me, I usually say it. So I'm trying really hard not to say some of the stuff that's really happening. But
one thing, Don, that I will tell everyone who's listening is one of the changes, and I'm not going to leak too much, but and I'm so excited for this because what Jennifer's done and with your help, Don, and with Patrick, and we have some shorter segments, and we've really packed in the amount of speakers and the amount of information. I mean, you're kind of going to feel like you're drinking from a fire hose of knowledge. It's like you're going to be plugged in to the tree of wisdom as it relates to real estate for a whole weekend, which is pretty incredible in my opinion.
Well, thank goodness for the app, because it got, when you do drift off after lunch, the app can save you.
Yeah, exactly.
You should put on a snooze, like a little snooze piece in the app. So like around 1 o'clock after lunch, it just buzzes everybody just to kind of wake them up.
It starts to vibrate your phone.
Yes,
Don, exactly. But here's another thing, Don. Let's come back to my analogy for a second. And the 911. So last year, and again, being a Porsche file, by the way, that's a real word, Porsche file. Yeah. Last year, the 911 got a brand new engine. It was for the first time ever, they've turbocharged every engine in the 911, not just the 911 turbo, which was, of course, viewed as a revolution for Porsche. I mean, people were losing their rockers off this. It turns out that give it a bit of time, and it turned out to be one of the best moves Porsche has ever made for their vehicle. But it was a revolution that was coming. It had to come because of technology. It had to come because of the advancement of where the industry was going. It had to come. Now, people, the OGs, the originals, they see this as a threat. But the fact is those who jumped on board with this change, massive. Now, how does this relate to us?
No clue. Tell us.
With real estate, there is this undercurrent coming. There is this massive movement, this wave coming called prop tech. And Don, you and I, we're in it every day. We see it every day. So for us, it's like staring at the ocean, watching the wave coming, thinking, "Yep, this is on its way." But for those people that are in their day-to-day jobs, they have 1, 2, 5, 10 doors. They may not see this change. That's why we've been ringing the bell now for 12 months, like loud. You've got to pay attention to this.
And not just realtors, not just investors, but realtors and mortgage brokers. Holy mackerel. Like, talk about a revolution that you may not even see coming. It's not blockbuster video level yet, but it's, you got to be evolving, adapting, adjusting quite quickly.
Absolutely.
So not because of us, but because of the industry.
100%. So we're going to have RESAS there, who's a publicly traded company. We're going to have the CEO, Tom Rossiter, there. He's going to talk about prop tech. He's going to actually demo an app. Maybe I wasn't supposed to say that. Let's rewind. Oh, and we can't. Anyways, move on. There's also Chris Adamkowski of Google Canada, who's going to be there to talk about what Google's doing to pioneer the prop tech movement. I mean, these are two industry heavyweights that are coming to share with our community what this is all about. So I'm super excited about that. And that's because that's where the revolutionize coming in.
Yep.
It's happening. It's guaranteed going to happen. You can either fight it or you can get on the right side with it. But this change is happening. We're preparing you to be on the right side of it.
That's right. And then it's up to them to choose whether they want it. And that's happened. That turbo analogy. Wow, this car. I'm not even a car guy, and I'm buying onto this whole story of yours in the 911. Sorry, not 911. Whoa. And the obviously not a Porsche file.
By the way, did you? Side story, Don. Only you and I will appreciate this. Our guests watching are going to love it as well. There's a Porsche commercial. One of the first Porsche vehicles, model 002, F23 or something crazy like that. You know what it was? It's a farm tractor, Don. They did that just for you, brother. I'm going to send you the commercial. I'm going to post it in this thread on Facebook.
And about 2 years ago, one of our neighbors drove up onto our farm and parked his Ferrari on our driveway, and it was like a 1950s Ferrari tractor. But I finally had a Ferrari on my property. There you go.
Love it. So, Don,
side note, this is going to be there. I'm not here to sell people to come here. I'm here to tell people that you should really be here, and so let the old gray-haired guy tell you that times they are a-changing. I've seen it before, and I've seen the dangers by watching from the outside right now, and that's why we're here, because I've seen it before, and I really, 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 given who I am, given our supportive habitat, given all that stuff, don't want you, the reviewer of this, to get caught into this stuff that I've seen in the past. And frankly, your money's worth a lot more than that, than just to throw it at some idea that has no base.
Yeah. So Don, just to recap, I mean, we've revamped the agenda. We've revamped ACRE. We've revitalized the data and the data points and the research and everything. And Jennifer, I mean, massive shout out to Jennifer. I mean,
her team is amazing.
It's unbelievable. I mean, keep in mind, Don, as you know, I started as a member 8 years ago. I started out as a member, and what Jennifer continues to improve on the research, the education, development, and everything that's coming down the pipe. It's unbelievable, and
it's so good that other people are ripping it off and making it their own. So that's pretty good. There you go.
Exactly. What did they say? Imitation is the form of flattery, I believe they say.
Greatest form of flattery. I think imitation is BS. But anyway, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah. And so in revolutionize, the last thing, and I want to end on this, Don, because you don't talk about this too much, at least from my perspective, but Richard Dolan's going to be bringing a part of investing that Rain traditionally hasn't talked about much. Rain is well known for the science of investing. Mm-hmm. We've shown people for 26 years how to invest in real estate, how to create financial freedom by design, and make it literally quite a science. 1 + 1 = 2, and we've designed an amazing system for that. But there's really the art of being an investor. And Richard Dolan's been talking a lot about that in the last 6 months. I want to get your take on Money Clinic. I want to take your take on the money conversation we've been having. Give me your take on it, because I know you're pretty blown away in Vancouver. You and I were in the rafters there watching Richard from the top deck. So give me a bit on that, and we'll end on that.
Yep. The thoughts that we have around money are often brought to us from previous generations and in our family, etc. Whether it's just, let's throw it away, don't worry, the government will take care of us, or let's take care of ourselves, or a combination of between, or a fear of the success and a fear. That relationship with money is so important. And I came from a family where I had my dad worked and commuted an hour and 15 minutes each way every day to try and put food on our table. And, I didn't grow up anywhere near a silver spoon. I didn't even know what a silver spoon was. It's so interesting. My thing around money is that, you work hard and you get more, and you work hard and you get more. And then I started to study the value of money and the importance of it. And that's why, once again, we revolutionized ACRE, is because that component does open doors for opportunity to look at other things. I invest in real estate, of course I do, but I also invest in REITs, and I also invest in software, and I also invest in private equity funds, and I also invest in, because frankly, it's not about silo thinking. It's like, oh, you're one of those guys, you're a currency trader, that's it. No, I'm a guy who wants to take this capital, because I already work hard, and put it in the things that are going to work, make it work harder than I work during this time of the cycle, whether it's the stock cycle or the real estate cycle. And that's it. And there isn't a black and white as you should do that, and you should only do this, and you should only do that. Look at what your IRR and all this crap that people start throwing around. is you got to be comfortable. You have to have a good relationship with money. And then that's why we're bringing some of these other conversations on the Saturday and Sunday, is that, here's some stuff that the senior guys are investing, guys and gals, excuse me, are investing in, and in order to play offense and defense in today's world. And we do it. We talk about it all the time, but it's not been part of ACRE or RAIN. But now, given the shift and given the cycle and given all that stuff, it couldn't be much better of a time. And that's why that AI and all that stuff is going to be so darn important.
Yeah, 100%. And
I don't know if that's what you wanted me to talk about, but that's what I talk about.
That's perfect. And, we have some incredible guest speakers, like the president and CEO of Invest Plus, which is a REIT here in Canada. Dominic Mandato is going to be there as well. And you're getting it, from the guy who's running a REIT, of what he's doing, how he's adding value, how you can participate. It's just the changes. Again, it's all about revamping the agenda, revamping the thing. Even though it's going to look and feel like an ACRE, the meat, the guts is going to be absolutely awesome.
And are we giving it away at 9/11? I was just asking the question. I don't know.
Don, you typically do something by matching habitat, or you've been so generous with your time. I figured maybe this is the next level.
Yeah, it was too bad I'm not a Porscheophile. Anyway, yeah.
That's great. Well, Don, listen, I can't wait to see you there, man. I can't wait to share the stage with you. I can't wait to have all these people there, because this year's ACRE is going to be revamped, it's revitalized, and it's going to revolutionize. So thanks again for your time, Don. I super appreciate it.
ACRE, triple R. There you go. There's my radio. There you go.
Thanks, Don.
See you there.
Bye-bye.
Bye.